YouTube, you name it, wherever you're watching the show from. It's Kev from Kevin's Corner, MySpace, the Rumble, wherever. It's Kev from Kevin's Corner. And I'm Bizak. That's right, I'm back. Now, today is Wednesday. And before I even start talking trash, I got to make sure that YouTube is doing right by me and sending out the notifications. Oh, there it is. Oh, yeah. And there I am. See, I got no commercial, probably based on the title that Democrat voters will believe anything except the truth. People are saying they got it. I see them popping in Connecticut. Now, you might hear some noise outside. Spring is in the air, and my neighbors are deciding to cut their grass. So right during my show, see, out of all the time they could be cutting grass, they decide to cut it during my show. Don't they know this is Kevin's Corner time? But anyway, long as you can hear me, I think the mic should pick me up pretty well without, that background stuff. Somebody said what's really happened? We about to find out what's happening. Shazam! Oh, yeah. Okay. So people are logging in, and apparently you're able to get the notifications. Okay. Yeah. Okay. I see them. All right. Ashley Valentine. Hi, Kev. Hello. Yeah. So welcome to the show. And I want to go ahead and try to knock it out early now. Unlike the last couple of weeks where I missed because of work, this time I missed yesterday because of technical difficulties. My internets and computer and my downloading of the clips and all of that stuff have been acting a fool. So I decided last night that, man, I'm not going to sit back and try to mess with this all night to get it together. And then today, miraculously, it worked. There you go. Yeah, technology. It just straight up does whatever it wants to do. You bang on it a little bit, give it some time. You always got to turn it off and turn it back on too. That usually solves the problem. I did that yesterday and it didn't work. So, it is what it is. Today it worked, and surprise, here I am. Now, before we get into today's topic and some of the things that we're going to be talking about, because I'm mad. I'm mad that I still got to be talking about this Maryland man, that the media is whining about. But I think we might be able to put it to bed tonight. Yeah, we're going to go ahead and go to the streets instead of listening to the fake news and what they're saying about all of this and stuff. We want to know what the people are saying. That's what we want to, because those are the ones that really count. It's not these raggedy Democrats or their hardcore voters that will believe anything except the truth. Except the truth. That's the one thing they will not believe. So we're going to put this to bed tonight, hopefully. But before we do that, I missed Easter, talking about Easter, some of the events that took place during Easter. So we'll start off with that. But first, we got to start off with me getting loose so I can get busy. Where's my man hat? Oh, yeah. Like us. Real gorilla. Real gorilla. Real gorilla. There's some kings in the building. Gorillas in here. Gorillas in here. Gorillas in here. Gorillas in here. Yeah, that's right. I'm feeling mighty American tonight. Unlike the Democrats. But anyway, before we get into all of that, don't forget, I got a store with all types of merch. You can go in there and shop till you drop and get some stuff with Kevin's Corners logos and silverback and all of that stuff. Even Gizmo got his own merch. I said his name, y'all. I said his name, and he looked over at me like, "What? That's me. I'm Gizmo. You want me to come over there? I don't. But anyway, and that number on the screen, 330-974-4607 is the number you text Kevin, text MAGA to, so you can stay in touch with Kevin just in case they bounce me off these here internets. And finally, if you want to support the channel in other ways, you can do it through my Cash App or my PayPal link. All of those are listed below. Now, let's go ahead, even though Easter has passed, I wanted to go ahead and, look at Trump and Biden versus the Easter Bunny. See, they both had a little encounter with the Easter Bunny, but we want to see the tale of the two, see who came out on top when it come down to the Easter Bunny. Here we go. So.
Hippity hoppity, Easter's on its way.
Yeah. Creepy. Doing Easter. He looked a little concerned. I mean, maybe the Easter Bunny is packing. I don't know. But that Easter Bunny startled him. This is still a classic. This is the stuff that the fake news ignored all of this time. See, this was during the era where they were still trying to pump it up like this guy was in control. He was smarter as a whip, as sharp as a tack. And I'm saying, but yet the Easter Bunny is able to come over to you and startle you for one. Startle him. You see the eyes get big. Oh, shock, big bunny. But not to mention, control you. So my question is, what that Easter Bunny got on Joe? That's my question. Who's in that costume? Because at this point, that Easter Bunny whipped Joe's tail. For the simple fact, the Easter Bunny directed him now. It was somebody in that costume that was assigned to protecting Joe, to make sure Joe go where Joe needs to go. Because no ordinary person that you hire for the Easter Bunny, is going to be going up to the president, pointing directions where he needs to go. I don't know about y'all, but if I'm throwing a big party for the kids or whatever, I'm just going to call some planning place. Hey, do you got anybody who could put a costume on? Yeah, this guy right here, he's sitting next to me smoking cigarettes. He'll come out. Okay, send that guy, but no smoking. He comes out, he puts the costume on, he does his little act, and that's it. But that Easter Bunny had a different assignment. That Easter Bunny was bold enough to go over to the president with not worrying about Secret Service tackling the bunny. So who was in that outfit? That's what I want to know. I want to know about Easter Bunny Gate. Here he is again. Look, over this way. Oh my God. Looking back at this, everybody who did not catch how blew out Joe was mentally should be embarrassed. Should be absolutely embarrassed. I mean, all of this wonderful footage online showing Joe being controlled by his staff or whomever, and yet they fought it to the very end trying to tell us that this man was lucid. But here he goes. Easter Bunny then finally put the foot down. Get your butt on over there. Where am I going again? Look, what am I supposed to do? Oh my gosh, he was a big, I'm telling you, the worst president of all times, hands down, Creepy Sleepy wins that award. I can't think of one that was worse than him. I mean, how do you become president and you are demented? I mean, you can't get no worse than that. But the Democrats didn't care, like they don't care about most things. They just stuck his butt in there and worried about the consequences later. So here he is. What am I supposed to do again? Looks like the Easter Bunny is up 1-0 on Joe.
Because Joe Biden is very much alive.
Bullshit.
Thank you, Trump. And that's why she lost. Nobody was believing her garbage because she was the one out there supporting Creepy Sleepy when the Easter Bunny had to run to his rescue. Now let's see how Trump handled that Easter Bunny.
Here comes Peter
Cottontail hopping down.
You having a good time, everybody? Everybody having a good time?
Dun, 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 dun. You see the bunny lurking? You see that bunny right there? Dun, 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 dun. Now watch Trump take advantage to go ahead and troll Joe. Trump is so petty when it comes down to that, and I love it. I love it. He never misses an opportunity to embarrass all the Democrats in the fake news.
Do you remember the bunny with Joe Biden? Remember? Do you remember when the bunny took Joe Biden out? He's not.
Look at that. Look at that. Does that bunny look like he's controlling Trump? Does that bunny look like she's about to be like, oh, come on over here. And look at his beautiful wife laughing, chuckling it up. See, you got to point out the differences to show just how ridiculous the Democrat Party is and the shenanigans that they pulled off. And Trump never misses an opportunity to do that. See, all the fake news who's watching or covering that event right there, they should all be embarrassed. Because he likes to remind them of how they overlooked that Easter Bunny incident.
He's not taking Trump out. Anyway. That was a beautiful moment when the bunny saved Joe Biden.
When the bunny saved Joe Biden. The bunny was to the rescue. Now, this bunny right here is probably just a low-level staff member playing the bunny, or they just hired, outsourced somebody. But whoever is in that is not going to tell Trump what to do or guide him or interrupt him. So it looks like Trump is up 1-0 to the Easter Bunny.
And it's just so unnecessary.
No, it's very necessary. It's very necessary to point out how crazy things were under your regime.
So wrong. Who the hell need... Don't get me going.
Yeah, because you can't. Yeah, see, they should have picked up on all of that. When he was pulling the parachute all the time, exiting the ramp when he ran out of RAM. Always say, you know what, never mind. I shouldn't say it. Anyway. Yeah, he had the anyway exit going all the time. And look at that Easter Bunny. That Easter Bunny right there knows his place. Hey, watch. Trump can't let it go. He can't let it go because he's petty like that, and I love it. Watch this.
What a good-looking crowd. You remember when the bunny saved Joe Biden? The bunny's not going to save me, right? I got a better bunny.
I got a better bunny. Oh, man, Trump, I tell you, there'll never be another Trump. Ever. Clowns them every single chance he gets. And, of course, they deserve every bit of it. So, yeah, I don't think we'll be seeing much more of creepy, sleepy, sleazy, slimy, sloppy Joe. They might trot him out every blue moon and embarrass himself. But I think he's pretty much done. He should have been done after the Easter Bunny started telling him where to go. But, hey, Democrats. So now, speaking of Democrats, they're voters, guys. They're voters, man. I'm telling you, I don't understand, man, how you can be a Democrat voter in this day and age. Granted, I'm sure there are people who don't pay very much attention to all the stuff that we pay attention to because we're, interested in politics. Maybe they don't see all of the folks connected to the Democrat Party and how they act when they're out. Maybe they don't get some of the main folks that are supporting this party, and they're all coming across as crazy. Absolutely crazy. Crazy and completely zombified when it comes down to their brains. Straight up zombified. So whatever the Democrats tell their voters to support, to believe, how to act, what to do, how to respond, how to feel, they immediately, I'm on it. They don't even realize how quickly they went from loving Creepy Sleepy to all of a sudden, who's Creepy Sleepy? We love Kamala Harris now. She's brat. They don't realize that. They don't realize the crazy, most radical policies, ideas that they jump on board and support out of nowhere that they weren't even thinking about until the Democrats download it into their brain. It's amazing to me when they came out whining about USAID without even knowing anything about some USAID up until the Democrats told them, y'all should be upset about this. And immediately, we got our new orders. We're upset about that. What is it called again? US, what? I don't know the acronyms. I really don't know what it means. But they told us we should be upset about it. Same thing. Y'all should be mad at Elon Musk after loving him. With, saying this guy's going to save the ozone. He's going to save the planet and stuff like that. Well, go from that to now you hate Elon. Deport Elon. And they jump right on it. And this latest stupidity is these dummies are out here protesting to bring back Garcia. Yeah, the guy they never heard of. Yeah, the guy that now he's all over the news. None of them stopped to say, now wait, why would the Democrats be trying to tell me I should support a gang member, MS-13, domestic terrorist? Why would they be doing that? Is it that they really want me to support this man because he's a great guy in spite of all of the stats? Or are they using me to help them with a hidden agenda in regards to illegal immigration? And they need public sentiment and support. So now they want me to swallow all of my morals. Because see, you got to understand, guys, if you talk to the radical left Democrat supporters and voters and you ask them about Trump and his past with ladies, Trump as the abuser of women, this guy right here, he'll touch them and touch and this stuff like that. And don't forget Eugene Carroll and all of this stuff. He's an abuser and he was found out liable for, but yet, soon as the Democrats tell him to like this guy, the one that beat his wife, they overlook all of that quickly. Just like they overlook how important it is to save the globe, climate change, right? And then all of a sudden, turn in your Tesla. Get rid of it. So we're dealing with some very simple-minded people, and it is fascinating to watch. So let's go ahead and get into it, because now all of a sudden, they want this guy to be brought back to the country because the Democrats told him he's important. Unbelievable.
Democrats, we are delivering. Right now, demonstrators are heading out for another anti-Trump protest this morning. The 5051 protest. It will be held nationwide.
That's right. The movement stands for 50 protests in 50 states. And one of those demonstrations is actually underway right now in Miami.
So let's check out the type of people that the Democrats send out to represent them. And see, representation is everything. It's everything. You know, you don't want to be a national party that is trying to win favor and draw people in, and the people you send out to represent you are all nuts. You don't want to be that. You stick a mic in conservatives' faces, they sound rational, logical, they're calm, they're not yelling, they're not calling everybody a whole bunch of names, they're not running away once they find out you might be a liberal. You're a liberal. You know what, get away from me. You know, shame, shame, shame. We don't act like that. We don't act like, I feel confident when I see a conservative being, blindsided on the street and they ask them a question, even if they're not hyper intelligent or maybe have the best vocabulary, they're still able to make sense and they still come across as a rational person. But yet when you see these voters right here, the ones that want Garcia back, if you are a rational thinking person and happen to be a Democrat voter, then maybe you ain't been paying attention to how radical, how unstable, how mentally disturbed these folks are. This should wake you up. So let's see the squad that they sent out in these 50 states.
Protesters here telling me they are not happy with the Trump administration, taking issue with everything from Doge to tariffs and deportation.
All of that stuff. To Doge, to tariffs, to deportation, that the Democrats all told them these are all bad things. So now all of a sudden we hate it. We hate Doge, even though Doge is exposing the very party, many of them who are ripping us off, tax dollars being used for stupid stuff. God knows what they're doing with their money, making sure they hook their family members up. But you know what, though? Doge is, I think they said something about children in Ethiopia or somewhere where they're saving us from Ebola. And don't forget the bird flu. And wait, what else we got to worry about with the, they're saving lives with the USAID. Just anything. Anything. They can't explain it, can't break it down, but they just jump on board immediately. Same thing, Doge, tariffs. Yeah, forget the fact that, China right now has it in for us. And if we don't do something to take a stance right now, 15 years from now, China will be running everything and all the same people. Why is it that China is able to make all the choices? Why is it that But see, they don't think like that. Just get mad. The tariffs, man. Don't think it through. So now let's see their squad.
I made this sign. Specifically, we need to bring him home. We need to give him due process.
Patrick Blewett is talking about Kilmar Abrego Garcia, a migrant recently deported to El Salvador.
Why do you care about Garcia? Do you know him? Does he call you at home? Why in the world are you talking about we need to bring him home? That's like bringing home a stray dog. You don't know nothing about it. Nothing about it. You're just gonna go with that. Look at that dog on the side of the road. I'm an animal lover. You know what? I'm gonna bring it home. It could have rabies. It could have ticks. It might even bite like the dog that my dad went out and bought us when I was a young boy. Old man Teddy. See, remember back in the day, the Doberman Pinscher was the stuff. I mean, if you had a Doberman, you was woo. Hey, you was big stuff. They even had a show on TV called The Dobermans. Yeah, man. And we would whine all the time. Dad, can we get a Doberman pincher? And he tried to get away with bringing us home some mutts and telling us it was Dobermans. I'd be sitting there like, Dad, why this Doberman got long ears and a long tail? You ain't never heard of this kind of Doberman? It's from the European Doberman. And he couldn't fool us. So he finally decided, I'm going to get the kids a Doberman, because back then Dobermans was a lot of money. A lot of money, man. It was the top of the line. So this dude went into the newspaper, found somebody giving away a full-blown grown Doberman pincher. Now, the question I have is, as I got older, why would one give away a full-grown, blown Doberman pincher? But we didn't care. We was getting us a Doberman. We went somewhere out in the middle of nowhere. This guy brought this big old red Doberman out on a big old thick chain and threw him in the back seat. The whole time we driving home, that mug was in the back seat smiling at us like, I'm sitting there going, Dad, I think the dog bites. No, he'll be all right. Took the dog home, dog snapping at us, trying to bite us. We tied the dog up in the backyard and left him. Man, we couldn't even play with our own dog. I'd take that food out there and just drop it, little squirts of water in his bowl, and that was it. But we was just happy to have us a Doberman that we couldn't even enjoy because the dog bite. Didn't do no background check on it. Didn't find out, hey man, did the dog disturb? Did you beat the dog? Why is the dog growling at me? Hey, but my old man didn't care. You wanted a Doberman, didn't you? We got you one. Now, hey, make sure you don't touch it though. You might get bit. See, so that's what these folks, they're like, yo, bring the Doberman home, knowing that this guy might bite you. He's a part of MS-13, man. Okay? This ain't one of them things that you just like, well, you know what? I'm pretty sure we'll give him the benefit of the doubt with all of that stuff on his knuckles. So let's continue though watching them support a guy who they don't even know.
He was in the U.S. legally, no matter what the Trump administration said.
Oh, God. No matter what the Trump administration. See, and they got him trained. They got him trained. They use buzzwords, legally, due process, all of that stuff. And that's all you hear them doing is repeating those things. He was in the country legally. I mean, you could tell these two dudes, or maybe perhaps, I don't know if they are together or not. I'm just saying, with his little red glasses and his little hairstyle and all this stuff. But of course, whoever is in that area of Florida decided, let's grab a whole bunch of very liberal folks that aren't going to move the needle. These people aren't convincing me. They're only encouraging me. They're only making me feel good in my state of mind and the way I assess this whole illegal immigration thing. Because if you're sending these people out to try to convince me that we should bring this dude home, that's having the opposite effect. I'm going, these folks ain't rap tight. What is he talking about? All he's doing is just repeating what the Democrats said.
People are scared to go to church. People are scared to go to work.
How do you know that? People are, same thing. Hey, guys, the people are scared to go to church. They're scared to go. What people? See, that's the thing. In her mind, all people are, because see, these illegal immigrants aren't just illegal immigrants. They're American citizens. They're American citizens that are scared to go out and go to church. No, that's not true. All American citizens should be extremely confident that I can go out, go wherever I want. Unlike when Joe Biden and all of them locked us down. Unlike that, where I couldn't go no place. Under Trump, you can go and do whatever you want if you're an American citizen. However, which she's leaving out, which the Democrats told them there's no difference, is the fact that if you're here illegally, especially if you are some type of criminal illegal immigrant, you should be afraid. You should be watching over your back. You should be going outside looking up. You should be scared that Tom the Hammer Homan is going to come around that corner and throw you in a slammer. But according to her, yeah, people are scared. What people? See, in her head, people are scared. I'm not.
People are scared to take their kids to school.
No, see, I would be scared to take my kid to school if illegal immigrants was in the neighborhood and I didn't know who they are, how they got here. Just wake up one day, they're stuffed in my neighborhood. I would be scared if a whole bunch of illegal immigrants was in my city and I had a daughter, go ahead out and play, honey. Used to just be easy. Go ahead out and play. I feel she's safe. Then you start hearing about cases where they just do things like What happened to Lakin Riley? And then you go, now I can't do that. I got to sit outside and play with you. And I used to just go in the house, look out the window every once in a while, but now I'm concerned. See, so I think the people who have been victims of illegal immigrants, they're the ones that were scared if they survived the encounter. But nonetheless, she's talking about people are scared. She don't know one person who is. I guarantee you she don't know anybody. She's just believing that in her head. Look at this. Got the kids out there involved.
They're stealing our democracy.
Oh.
It's messed up.
Really push.
Look at that. Look at that. They're stealing our democracy. It's messed up. How can your brain just be this easily controlled? Easily controlled. I mean, first of all, we're a republic. But nonetheless, I know what they're thinking in their heads. They're taking away our rights, our ability to choose. None of that stuff is even happening at all. So really what she's thinking is, by us sending folks who are legally in our country back to where they came from, it's their right to stay here. There it is. It's their right. So now I should find that lady's crib, go right up in there, take off my shoes after a long day of work. I want the hot feet. I want the hot feet. I want the fumes coming off my socks. Stick those big old feet up on top of her, sofa. When she come home and they're with that remote eating a sandwich. Hey, how you doing? Who the heck are you? I'm Kevin. I'm here for a better life. That's what I'm here for. I have the right to be here. Dang on it. I like your house. It's better than mine. So I'm going to enjoy myself. And if you tell me to leave, I'm scared. Because I have the right to be here. And I'm an undocumented homeowner. These people, man, they don't even think like that. Oh, there we go. Any man out there with moss on his hair, what is that? He got green stuff in his hair with the pink suit. Let's hear what he got to say.
It's just to come to D.C. right now is the no due process for people like Kilmar Garcia.
Wow. They're fascinating, man. They should be studied. Scientific experiment on these people. There's no due process. Now, notice what we've been hearing during my live stream, and if you watch the news. No due process. It's all about due process. Due process, due process, due process. And what does he do? Come right out. There's no due process. Like people like Garcia. You don't even know this man. And don't care. They don't even question anything. Like, well, wait a minute. Hold on. Wait, who am I supposed to be mad over? What did he do? Is he here? Give me some background. Don't just tell me I need to hate this person and I need to like this person without giving me some reasons. And that's why I say their voters will believe anything but the truth because they don't even require any background, reason, logic, explanation. Just do it. And he's doing exactly what he's been told to do. Say exactly what they've been saying. No due process.
It just sets a really, really scary precedent. We can just send anybody we want overseas.
See? They're getting what they want out of their radical, crazy, brainless base. Unbelievable. They could just pretty much send anybody overseas. Now, they've been running around saying this on the fake news. If he gets away with this, he can send anybody. All of us are. And folks have really bought into this. You would have to, well, first of all, you couldn't pay me to sell out and prostitute myself for the Democrat Party. But let me just think. If I had no political affiliation, I was a freelancer, you know what I'm saying? I was a free agent, and they say, look, we'll pay you to get on TV and say what that dude just said with that green hair. I'd be like, you ain't got enough to pay me. Because, see, I'm going to come across as crazy. You got to pay me a lot of money to risk my sanity, or at least the perception of my sanity, okay? Because when I get out there and say there's no due process, that any of us are vulnerable, people are going to think I'm dumb. They're going to say, is he really trying to compare American citizens with illegal immigrants and how they're going to now all of a sudden start going after American citizens for what? That's the question. But nonetheless, that guy don't care. Yeah, he's doing that for free. He's crazy for nothing.
and not give them any due process.
Not give them any due
Then once
process.
they're there, we just say, oh, we can't do nothing about it.
If they're there, they say we can't do nothing about it. Well, you need to do something about no bass in your voice. Come on, you need some bass in your voice. That's right. You need some bass. That's what you need. There it is. See, that's what you need to be doing something about. Can't even do nothing about it. Let's continue because they got signs, y'all. Bring Kilmar home. Kilmar home. See, that's what it should read rather. Bring Killer home.
Bruh.
I was at the hands-off protest. I've been going to the Tesla takedown protests.
Yeah, full-blown 24/7 activist. Yeah, middle, upper age, white, liberal. There you go. I mean, you see a lot of them out there at these protests. I'm like, what are you doing? Shouldn't you be retired now? You're coming out here thinking I'm doing stuff. So she's been involved in a whole bunch. She's a professional activist. So you know she's infested with Democrat narratives.
I've been to 4 of those.
Please get a damn job.
That is true. When we see these folks out there, I'll be wondering, what is this exactly that you do? What do you do? See, and the ones that are radical and crazy that actually have jobs oftentimes lose their jobs because on the job, they still act like they're activists. Since I can't be out in the streets because I'm working, I'm going to go ahead while I'm at the job. I hate these Trump supporters who came in and you know what? I'm not even going to treat them. They deserve what? Come in your office? Okay, just a minute. I was just uploading. No, stop doing what I'm doing. I'm fired. Yeah, see, so when they're on their jobs, they're out there doing stupid stuff to get themselves fired. And when they're at home doing nothing, they decide, well, let me go ahead and find something to get involved with. Who has time for this? What are you doing? I'm telling you, got to be something severe for Kev to go ahead, get dressed, shave up the dome, line up the man beard, throw on the big, fat, grown man American hat, and go down to protest. It better be something dead serious. Don't drag me out the crib for some illegal immigrant, MS-13 gang member. But for them, that's worth the cost.
I did ask some of the people here what their top concerns are right now
We don't
when
know.
it comes to President Trump and
Anything the Democrats told us. That's what our top concerns are for Donald Trump. We're going to repeat everything they told us we should be mad about him for.
his administration.
They are kidnapping people and sending them to another country without due process.
Oh, God. I mean, I'll tell you what, though. This is a time to be alive. Because before the internets and before the Democrats exposed that they were crazy, see, they kept that hidden. Trump unleashed that. When he came in 2016, all of a sudden, you know, they were like that person in a relationship that could no longer hide how crazy they were. Yeah, they were able to suppress the jealousy. Hey, I'm glad you got a male friend. How long you been on him? Oh, about 20 years. Okay. Yeah, so y'all usually like give hugs and kind of kiss on the cheek when y'all see each other. Oh yeah, you know, it's nothing though. He's just like a brother to me. Oh, okay, cool. yeah, brothers is nice. And then all of a sudden, the next time, so how many times you gonna be kissing on the cheek, huh? How many times, how much brotherly love is there? That's what I want to know. What are you talking about? Why are you acting this way? Yeah, they couldn't suppress it no more. It came out. So what happened is the Democrat Party done revealed how nuts they are. And their supporters, unfortunately, are the examples for all of us to see, to show us human psychology at its best. I'm sitting here looking at these people and I'm hearing what they're saying and I'm going, wow, that is how used car salesmen do it. That is how all of these marketing executives and stuff, when they say, let's sell this product, we got the perfect people to do it. All we got to do is keep telling them this and this and that. We got so many mentally vulnerable people in the world and in our country. It's fascinating to watch. I'm going, man, y'all are walking around like prey. Just pray to the Democrat Party, That's how easy they are. They're like, oh, we got us another one. Got us a live one. She's out there telling us, y'all, no due process.
Stop oil drilling and that sort of stuff?
Everything. Just anything. So now, here you go. Like all the Democrats, They all got issues, and if somebody cover one of the issues they got, then they got to come all right. I'm gonna top you. Well, I'm here because of the oil drillings and so now here we go. Look at that. Take them away. Get them out of here. Follow me. What's your name? Follow me. What's your name? So I want to go ahead and create a following to folks that are crazy. I want more crazy people following me as I get arrested for nothing. See, now maybe they forget they're in Florida. Maybe they forgot that they're no longer under mucus and under the Mayor Garlic and all of them where, nobody was ever arrested and charges brought up on them or any stuff. They just get released and, all that slap on the wrist. So maybe if they start really getting the hammer when they go overboard with these protests, when they start blocking traffic, when they start, getting in folks' face and snatching stuff off of people, when they start doing that under this regime, and they sitting in jail waiting for mucus or the other dude, Garlic, to get them out, or some Democrat DA, and nobody comes, maybe they start realizing their craziness has consequences. You hear the cult? You hear the cult repeating their chants. The Trump fascist machine must go now. Boy, I tell you, couldn't pay me to be up in that bad boy unless I'm up there making fun of them. Yeah, that's the reason I'd be up in there. Hello, crazy number 7. I'm sorry, crazy. Anyway, you, liberal. Why are you mad again? When did he say that? Why do you think that? Yeah, just to make fun of him. That would be the only reason I'm in there. So look. Free Kilmar now! Free Kilmar now. Don't know the man. Don't know what he did. Don't know his background. Just straight up, free Kilmar now. There it is. There. We told y'all to go out there and whine about a man y'all don't know his background, but go out there and say, free Kilmar now. Free Kilmar now. Bring Kilmar home. Killer is home. That's what they don't realize. Killer is home. Yeah, like Caesar is home. No, Kilmar is home. There it is. So they're up there talking about bring him home. And that is exactly how the Democrats want liberals to view illegal immigrants. They view them as American citizens. This is their home. They have a right to be here because nobody's illegal. Nobody's illegal. Yeah, that brother is home. And they out there. Look at this. Make America gay again. They got all kinds out there bringing whatever grievance, whatever cause they have. They're like, yeah, I know we're supposed to be supporting Kilmar, but hey, why not slide in a little bit of, LGBT and a little bit of climate change and a little bit of whatever else. So that's the crew out there fighting for the Democrats' causes. But I'm telling you, that's not the representation y'all want. When I look at these lemmings, I'm going, why would I want to be a part of that? I believe in the opposite of whatever these idiots are saying. But wait, it gets worse. Oh, mass deportation. Oh, look at that. Uh-oh. Trying to use some puns and Scooby-Doo. Look at this. The only king I bow to is David Bowie. Look at that. Stephen King. What is this? What is this? What's these? There you go. Y'all see that? Do you think one of us conservatives, if we had to protest, would be out there rocking that? I don't know what that is. Look like something out of Cat in a Hat. I don't know. But you got to be full-blown nuts. A whole bunch of these type people feel comfortable hanging out with all of these people that be out there protesting for Democrat causes. That would immediately mess me all up if I came out there like, all right, yeah, let's do it, man. Let's go down and protest. That's right. Let's free this brother. Okay. What's up with the costume? Just as one of them? Okay. Well, I see a lot of those costumes in the That no base and a whole bunch of green. I'm wondering if I'm in the right crowd. I'm wondering if these people got the mental capacity to understand what they're doing. Maybe I should go ahead and bounce because I don't want to be next to Cat in the Hat. I don't want to be next to whatever this is with this bun, a bonnet around his head or her head. What is that? Good googly moo.
Yeah, it's weird. It's weird.
It is weird, Trump. And it's a whole bunch of weirdos in the Democrat Party. When you were here before, couldn't look you in the eye, because I'm a creep, I'm a weirdo. But anyway, let's look at the creep that they're all saying that he needs to come back to the country for one last time. Hopefully, we won't have to cover this again. So MS-13, y'all. Oh, yeah. Ignored by the Dems. So let's go ahead. Here's the proof.
Told my colleague Dana Bash yesterday that you did not ask Abrego Garcia whether or not he's actually in MS-13. You said you know what his answer is.
Yeah, because there's no need. You knew he was a dirtbag when you went down there. And Democrats, they jump and look later. So you didn't ask that guy nothing? There you go.
But how do you know if you did not ask him?
Well, because I know what he's said many times in court, and that's the proper forum for debating this. And
yeah, you see this dummy who's risking his reputation? Why didn't you ask him? Because I know what he said many times in court. Do you think he's going to get in court? Absolutely. I'm MS-13. We do a lot of killing. You know what I'm saying? I had to kill to get this tattoo on my knuckles. What's the problem? I don't understand. You think he was going to get in court and say that? Of course he's in court saying, I don't know what you're talking about. No, I don't know that. I've never been associated with that gang. And we're about to find out if that's true or not. Let's continue.
And as we know, the federal district court judge in this case said, and I brought it with me again, and I'm going to read it, no evidence linking Abrego Garcia to MS-13 or to any terrorist activity, period.
No evidence, you say? Well, we better take a deep dive into it because I don't think this guy's looking very closely.
That has been what Abrego Garcia has been telling the court. And I would ask you, Caitlin.
Oh, that's what he's been telling the court.
Really? If I come back and said, I asked him if he was an MS-13 and he said, no, he wasn't. I mean, right? The whole point is this is a conversation that's supposed to happen.
No. See, if he came back and said he wasn't, nobody would believe him, but you dummies. See, and the bad part is y'all dummies don't even believe him either. Y'all just don't care. Just like y'all didn't care that a whole bunch of folks came across our border that fell into the category of many dangerous things to our citizens. But y'all don't care. That's the problem. So now here he is talking about if he came back and said that he wasn't in a gang, that, you know what, that's not even important. Once again, because nobody will believe him.
Happen in court, which is why I have said to Donald Trump to either put up or shut up in court. And that's true for Mike Wallace and all of these people. Put up or shut up in court. But in the meantime, you need to respect the court's decision on this fundamental constitutional issue, or you're calling those rights in question for everybody who resides in America.
See, everybody, this is the connection. You see what they're trying to do? You got to go ahead and psychoanalyze their true motive. The true motive is one and two things. Number one, create this narrative that all illegal immigrants, before they're deported, must go through some due process, whatever that looks like. Okay, before you send them out, which we all know that if you do that for all of them, they'll never get out of here. It would take too long to deport them all while we wait for raggedy judges to go ahead and go through all of that garbage. But that's the narrative that they're trying to push, and to make folks that either are saying these folks need to go, or folks that say, well, I'm not really into it, I haven't heard much about it. And even worse, folks that say, well, I don't see what these illegal immigrants got a right to be here. Well, the goal then is also to make them feel like if you're doing this to them, all of us are in trouble. They want to make us jump on board because we feel a connection. We feel that if y'all doing it to them, then eventually, for whatever reason, I guess all of us American citizens or open season to be deported for whatever. If that's what Trump was up to, can't he just go ahead, go to all of the major prisons and just say, let's go ahead and deport all of these folks to another country right now. Get them out of here. Get them out of here, the criminals. Go. Man, why are we paying for them? Couldn't he do that? Couldn't he just start doing it right now? But we know that that's not what he's doing, but they don't want their people to know that. They want all of us to feel like they always do, that the people that they support have the same plight as us. Y'all remember the black folks were supposed to get mad because when Trump was separating those kids from those parents, it was just like slavery. Just like slavery, when they would drag those Africans on the boat to America and rip the babies from them and all of that stuff. Same thing, with the exception of the illegal immigrants came willingly and they're just getting sent back home. But besides that, black people get mad. So let's go ahead and see if this ploy is working.
Just take a look at this. As you can see, he's got 4 tattoos.
Well, that guy said there's no evidence. Yeah, that guy right there, you know what, I didn't need to ask him. I thought they said that there's no evidence. Well, look, he got 4 tattoos. What do those markings mean, liberal have mine?
From his left index finger all the way down to his pinky. The first one is a marijuana leaf, which
marijuana?
people are suggesting represents M. Then
marijuana, that's the M. So we got the marijuana leaf. Give us another stuff.
And he's got a smiley face, which people suggest is an S for...
Oh, there it is. Smile starts with an S. The smiley face, but what's up with the X's on the eyes?
MS, then a slim cross for the number 1, and then on his pinky knuckle, a skull that is styled to represent a 3, also with the 2 eye sockets and the nasal cavity socket, which represent 3 dots, 1, 2, 3. In other words, it seems as though, indirectly, he has MS-13 spelled on his knuckle.
Wow. Now, I wonder if the good senator was looking at those knuckles while he was talking to him, and I bet you he had them right there in his face. He never stopped to say, what do those markings mean? What are the chances that this guy from El Salvador would accidentally, just randomly, pick the exact tattoos that MS-13 uses to identify themselves? What are the chances of that? Yeah, I mean, now that liberal high mind broke down what those mean, I'm going, that's pretty hard to just accidentally do. And why would anybody want to put that tattoo on their knuckles, knowing what it represents and knowing what it could cost? 2 things. Number 1, MS-13, if they catch you with that and you're hanging around them and you never earned it or you're not a part of them, that's a problem from them. Number 2, you're putting yourself in danger because when police officers pull you over, they're going to look at your fat knuckles and say, Johnson, I think this guy might be a part of MS-13. So why would you want to put that big old bullseye on your back because you want to rock MS-13 tattoos? But the good old senator couldn't even see that, right? That means nothing to him.
Might have a cherry on top because this photo taken with his
maybe his wife knows what those mean. Watch what she does, y'all.
wife originally. His hand tattoos were clearly identifiable, but then more recently, his wife actually reposted that photo with a couple captions here. Let me show you. I miss you so much. I won't stop fighting. I promise.
I miss those beatings you used to give me so much. You know what? When we couldn't stop fighting. There it is. I miss those beatings so much. Send my abusive husband back to me. But look, notice what she does, guys. Now, remember, if these are just random tattoos, why is she covering them up with hearts?
Hashtag kill Mara Brego Garcia. No matter how many hours, days, weeks pass, I miss you like day one. So clearly trying to paint him as a loving Maryland dad, right? A wrongly deported family man.
How long have you two been together, and what has your life been like with him?
We've been together over 7 years. It's been amazing.
Amazing.
He's very
that including the black eyes. That's including all the bruises and stuff. Talking about I just couldn't put my makeup on that good today. Well, I mean, you got red right here and then blue right there and black right there. Boy, I tell you, you must have really messed it up. I know I put my makeup on in the dark. That's what happened. These ain't bruises. Yeah, so after all of that, so now she's talking about that I miss him, I want him back and all this stuff. We had a great 7 years. But notice when that guy asked her about, are you afraid of him? Because you did. you did go ahead and, press some charges against him. All she could say is, my husband's alive, and that's all I got to say about that.
Loving husband, an amazing father. And we were just young parents trying to live the American dream.
There it is. The American dream, y'all. I thought the American dream was for Americans or immigrants that come here the right way for the American dream. There it is. I thought that's what that was. So, yeah, this guy was over here with MS-13 tattoos talking about, I'm here to live the American dream according to the Democrats. But let's continue.
And we know you were living that dream until March 12th. That's when your husband was detained and sent back to El Salvador.
Interestingly enough, in this repost, if you take a look, his estranged wife, who's now coming leaping to his defense after, at one point, having a restraining order against him, she placed 2 hearts on the photo. That
conveniently, y'all. Look where she put those hearts, y'all. Now, why would she want to do that? Why ain't she, letting those tattoos shine? Why ain't you proud of your ink? Most folks go out of their way for people to see their ink. Never wearing a shirt if you got tats on your chest. Somehow figure out a way to take the shirt off. And don't own a long sleeve shirt nowhere. Starting right here so everybody can see your ink. But this time, it's not popular for some reason. She covered up that ink with 2 big fat hearts.
Just happened to cover up his hand tattoos. I find that so interesting.
Me too.
What could possibly be the motive?
Oh, the motive is, all of the press right now is drooling over this dude and wants him back when folks with common sense and knows the background of this dude is revealing it, and she knows that. So I guess she thinks she's doing her part by covering up that, but we already done seen him. We already done seen it. Okay, you can remove the hearts. We know what's under it.
For strategically putting hearts over his knuckles.
Well. So let's see how the trip went with not only the senator, but all the other dumb dims that went down there, followed suit. Yeah. Careless whispers. Yeah, look at that. That's his buddy. Oh, look at those knuckles. Bam! Well. So I guess the senator couldn't see those. Show him, Trump. Yep.
Holy moly. So that he can use my taxpayer money to fly to El Salvador. To bring back someone that's not even an American citizen.
Yeah, and we better find out how Americans on the street feel about this use of tax money to go get Garcia from the prison.
So a lot of questions there. First of all, who did pay for this trip?
You guys, you dummies.
This was an officially cleared, congressional trip.
Look, he feel uncomfortable answering that. The money, basically the fish. It was an official. He sounds embarrassed. He sounds like he's scared to even say taxpayers. So you're gonna go around the mulberry bush talking about some
First of all, who did pay for this trip?
This was an officially cleared, congressional trip.
So taxpayers. That's what you should say.
Basis. Yes, like every other trip.
Just like every other trip. So now let's see what's currently going on. Yeah, let's get into it.
Welcome back. 4 House Democrats arrived in El Salvador
4 more
today to
dummies.
push for the return, first the release, then the return of Kilmar Abrego Garcia, the Maryland man you've heard about him.
The Maryland man,
mistakenly deported from the United States to El Salvador.
That guy.
And so we don't want to wait till things get worse.
Now you see this young snot. You see this guy, with this ragged tee behind, little afro puff on top of his head. So let's hear what he got to say, because he's talking about we don't want to wait. They're going to bat for this criminal.
We're here to build off of the work of Senator Van Hollen, who heroically came down here.
Senator Van Hollen, who heroically came down here.
Man, they are dumb. They are dumb. Do they really think that the majority of Americans are buying this garbage? I mean, I wonder what goes through their minds. Maybe they're so used to getting over on people, they don't realize that the grift is kind of coming to an end. People are waking up to the shenanigans of the Democrat Party. All of this stuff that they're saying. I'm listening to it. I'm going, you're saying heroic, brave. Listen to the words that they use to describe this monstrosity.
And showed his family and the world for the first time since he was taken down here that he is alive, that he was alive, and he was well at that time. And so what we want to know is, where is he at now? What is his condition now?
What do you mean, where is he at now? You just saw the other dummy meet with him. He's in prison. We want to know, where is he at now? Well, we actually let him go out into the poppy fields, or now he's out there at a picnic. He's in the prison. But these cats are just trying to run it right back with the stupidity. So I guess they want their Photoshop by the pool or sitting there at dinner with those glasses there. I guess they want their turn.
His family deserves to know. The people deserve to know. But we're also here to make a statement that this cannot be allowed and isn't allowed in our country.
Now, notice how they're worried about the wrong families all the time. They never think about American families who are victims of Democrat policies and decisions. Never think about those families. They don't think about the 13 service members who were killed because of the decisions of Joe Biden or whomever in Afghanistan. They don't even want to call them up. Or any of the families that were unfortunately lost a parent, a daughter, of whoever, a son, by gangs from other countries. They don't care about those families. They don't care. They don't care about the families that were left in Afghanistan that Joe said, we're going to go back, make sure every American is home safe, and never returned. I don't recall anything about that. They don't want to go and say, we want to ensure that those families got nothing. But when it comes down to these illegal immigrants' families, we want to make sure that their families know that they're safe. And
people should know, we're not the first here. We're not going to be the last members of Congress.
So you're not the first dummy, and you're not going to be the last dummy dem. So the dumb dems, there it is. They're investing, y'all. So I wonder when this fall apart, what are they going to do? How they going to tiptoe and back out of this?
To be here in El Salvador, fighting and demanding the return of Abrego Garcia.
These people are sick. These people are sick.
Yes, Trump, they are.
Well, we're actually
fighting and demanding the return of this illegal MS-13 gang member. Unreal. Look at, here he is.
About to do a press conference to speak a little bit about this, but we got word at the embassy that our request has been denied by the government here locally.
Bam! Denied. So y'all dummies went down there trying to make a spectacle out of it. Now, it was already hard enough for the first dummy to see it. And you saw what the El Salvadorian president did. Yeah, go ahead in there. Go. See, you got to wonder what awaits you when they finally give you what you want and you know that they really didn't want to give you what you wanted. See, like my mom and them. Mama, can I go outside? No. Mama, I did all, but no. I said no. Mama, can I go? Okay, you know what? You want to go? Go on. Go ahead out there. Go on. And you sitting there going, well, wait, why are you saying I can go now? No, you want to go? Go ahead. Go ahead. Go on out there. And you going, uh-oh. Maybe I should not go. I'm just going to go upstairs to my room now. Yeah, that's what they did. Whining. Can I see him? Can I see him? Can I see him? No. Okay, you want to see him? You want to see? Okay, go ahead. So the first guy walks right into a nice photo op for us. And then these guys want to run it right back. And he drugging company.
I'm Maxine Dexter here from Oregon's 3rd District. What Trump has done to Kilmar Abrego Garcia.
No, what your hairdresser has done to your hair. That's the crime that's committed. What's up with that? We can't drop a curl in there somewhere, roll it up, flip it up, tie it up, something. What's up with that? But nonetheless, she's a liberal, so I guess she doesn't care about her appearance. Yeah, so here she is. What Trump has done to Garcia, no, what they have done to your hairstyle.
Is inhumane, cruel, and it's creating a constitutional crisis. Full stop.
Reading whatever little thing is right in front of her.
It is a government-funded kidnapping.
Oh, God. See? And notice the dummies in the beginning of my show was out there saying the same thing. They're kidnapping people. Same thing. So now you see the connection. Democrat voters will believe anything. So now here she is reading the script, but the rest of them repeat the script because they don't realize it's a script to her. They don't realize that. They think she's sincere. They think she's coming off the top of the dome And all she's doing is reading a script so they can buy into it and be out there talking about free Kilmar.
Plain and simple. Kilmar, a father of 3, lived in Maryland for over half his adult life. He had legal permission to stay in the United States.
But then he also had, a legal document saying he needs to be deported. See, so what are you talking about? Yeah, I think that was null and void once they said, well, yeah, he got to go.
Trump mistakenly deported him and is blatantly defying the Supreme Court's order to bring him back.
No, they didn't say bring him back. Yeah, little play on words. No, facilitate his return. That's if, the El Salvadorian president wants to give him back, then we could facilitate it. But they're making it seem like this is a demand of bringing back by the Supreme Court. Once again, lying to their people.
And this isn't just about one man. Trump is targeting international students. He's talking about mass deportations.
Why? Notice what they're saying. Trump is targeting. So now, remember, guys, when Democrats throw these things out there and they're very impressionable, voters just suck it up. They never stop for 1 second to say, wait a minute, y'all are labeling Trump as a villain, but you're not giving me the motivation. I can't stand movies or shows that got a villain that's just evil for nothing. The best villain ever was Thanos, because you understood why Thanos was a villain. You understood what his motivation was, whether right or wrong. He had conviction. He only was a villain based on getting that across. He wasn't just out there doing stuff for no reason. But what she wants people to think is Trump's a villain, and he's targeting international students. Why? Just because he don't like international students? Nobody stops for a second to say, well, what about these international students and why are they being deported? What did they do? What's the logic behind why they're doing that? But they'll never explain that, because then you'll find that these are not just international students. Because why would Trump want to do that? Just pure evil? That's what you're telling me? There's no reason why he's just deporting these international students. Could it be that they came over here and bringing their radical attitude to our country when they should be learning and encouraging violence on campuses? Could that be it? But you don't want nobody to really know the motive behind that. So you just say he's targeting international students and everybody else, and then you guys are on the list too.
No one is safe in Trump's America.
Now you see, there it is. That's the sum for the dumb. Okay, that is the sum for the dumb. No one is safe in Trump's America. Believe that. Go out there thinking when you're going to the grocery store, if you're a dumb Democrat voter, that any second now, even though I'm an American citizen, I'm not safe. Trump can come in and grab me. Take me out of here just because.
He is trying to incite fear and is direct.
That is exactly what this woman with the raggedy, stringy hair is doing. Right here. She is inciting fear by telling people no one is above out of bounds when it comes down to this deportation thing, deportation thing.
Directly assaulting the rule of law. This moment is about whether our government respects the Constitution or steamrolls it.
Wow. Democrats have been steamrolling that bad boy for years. Yeah, wiping their butt with it, their feet before they go in their house or their mansions, because, they're usually all rich from all of that USAID money and all that stuff like that. Yeah, before they go in, they're like, hey, Felipe, because, they like their illegal immigrants who do the low work. Felipe, come here. I come home from a hard day of doing nothing and pushing propaganda, and I want to come into my mansion. I open my door on my own. That's the first thing I was shocked about. Felipe, you're supposed to open the door for me. But when I went to go to step in, there's nothing right there for me to wipe my feet on. Go get the Constitution like I told you, Felipe, and bring it back here so I can wipe my feet when I go into my mansion on the Constitution. That's what it's good for. That's how bad these folks destroyed the Constitution under their reign. But here she is, our Constitution.
We must speak out. We must stay loud. Our democracy, our humanity depends on it.
Look at that, all of that packed in there. So we're all in danger. Everybody can be deported. Democracy is on the line. There's no due process. The Constitution is being threatened. Trump's lawless. Here's some more propaganda from the lady with the stringy hair. as we can see, she still haven't done anything about that hairstyle. I'm wondering about that now.
Maxine Dexter here, coming to you from El Salvador.
Maxine
I
Dummy?
flew here last night with 3 of my colleagues to demand that Kilmar Abrego Garcia be released.
Demand? Now, what about the Logan Act? Isn't this a problem for them? Why are they going down to El Salvador demanding the release of an El Salvadorian prisoner and citizen to bring back here? I mean, have they been commissioned to do that? Are they representing the executive branch? Or are they negotiating diplomatic relations with a whole nother country on their own? Maybe they should be brought up on some Logan Act charges, like they tried to get Trump and all of them on.
He's being held in violation of a Supreme Court order expressly telling the Trump administration to effectuate and facilitate his coming home.
Yeah, that means you don't have to do it. But if it happens, just help out. So why don't you be honest about that?
That is being ignored. This is not just a threat to all people in the United States.
You remember, see, when she's reading her lines, got to put that back in there. It's not just a threat to all people. So all of y'all, get on board with us. Get behind us. Help us save our precious illegal immigrants that we worked so hard to bring in this country for 4 years. Help us save them. We need y'all to go ahead and change the opinion of all those folks who voted for Trump because of this issue by making people think that all of us are in danger. So this is something we all got to get behind and fight for. And the dummies do it without question. Jump right on board. That's right. All of our rights. We all can be kidnapped from Trump. And who's this guy again? Who's this guy again we need to bring back? We're on it, Dems.
Who could be illegally abducted, detained, and transported internationally against their will. But it is a fact that our president does not recognize the branches of government and the balances of power.
These people are so evil. I mean, you're sending a message out there that is a full-blown lie. You're taking advantage of impressionable people and scaring them into thinking that they could be abducted by the government. This ain't the Democrat-ran government. This ain't Trump and Mucus and all of them. That happened under them. That's the stuff that was happening under them. You know what I'm saying? But now we're back to law and order and really obeying the Constitution and America first. But y'all want folks to think that they could just be snatched up at any given second and just lying to these people. And then talk about instilling fear. Trump's instilling fear. No, you guys. That's how they operate. Straight up fear. And they're going to try to play on people's ignorance to make them get behind this and support this garbage or their heartstrings by saying he's just a Maryland man that didn't do nothing.
This is what we all have been calling a constitutional crisis.
No, we all ain't been calling that. You guys are trying to coin that, just like y'all tried to coin, insurrection. That was another one. Just use the word so much that the dummies start using it when they're out. He committed an insurrection. Don't know what an insurrection is. But they'll use insurrection, threat to democracy. Whatever tagline, whatever phrase they come up with, their people just jump right on board and adopt it without internalizing what that looks like and what it means.
Yet it is more severe than anything we've seen. We cannot stay silent. We must stay loud. I am here because I refuse to wait.
Y'all see that? So stay radical, stay in the streets, bring out the man looking like Cat in a Hat or something like that. Bring out folks with the green hair. Bring out people that are with shirts, the LGBT, Make America Gay Again. Bring all those crazies out and embarrass the whole party. Because those aren't the people that's going to vote y'all in. There's more sane people than crazies. But you hear what she's doing. She wants to drag everybody out and get on board with this.
For something to happen. We are here to release Kilmar Abrego Garcia.
It's really important that Donald Trump is defying a 9-0 decision of the Supreme Court to bring Kilmar Abrego Garcia back home to the United States. Lower courts have affirmed that. The administration has said they sent him here by accident. And this is a massive due process crisis.
There it is. Same talking points. So y'all went all the way down there to El Salvador just to repeat the same stupid stuff we've been hearing when y'all was here. Y'all took a trip for nothing. Y'all went all the way down there just to repeat your talking points and make it look like you're doing stuff. All the stuff that is happening in our country and most likely in their cities and districts. And they're down there spewing this propaganda and garbage trying to protect and save their large group of illegal immigrants that they brought here. So now, once again, let me go all the way down there just to do an interview and bring up all the same lies and talking points.
Country, Donald Trump cannot defy the Supreme Court. We've got to raise the attention, not just in the U.S., but here, and demand his release. It's really important that...
Hey, it's Congressman Garcia. I am here in El Salvador with a group of House Democrats advocating for the release of Kilmar Abrego Garcia, and of course, checking in on so many folks who have been sent here without due process.
Why? Why are you down there checking on folks so concerned about these illegal immigrants and their due process? What are you doing down there? And why do you think those people got sent down there to that place? I mean, what separates them from all the other illegal immigrants that they're sending to other places besides a maximum prison like that? Could it be that those folks have a record and they're dangerous? But y'all go straight to the dangerous ones. Straight to the worst of the worst. Speak so much about their party.
The Supreme Court has ordered unanimously that Kilmar Garcia should come back home to the United States. We also know that he was sent here wrongfully. The Trump administration admitted that. We have met now with the U.S. Embassy here, the ambassador. We're meeting with advocates on the ground.
So why are y'all down there negotiating on behalf of America when you're not qualified or sanctioned or anything? You're not down there on official American business. Did Trump send y'all down there on behalf of the executive branch to negotiate and facilitate the return of this criminal? No. So y'all decided we're going to bypass the executive branch. Yeah, we're going to take matters into our own hands, go down there and try to bully their president and their leaders into giving back one of their own citizens that is a criminal. That's what we're going to do as Democrats. While forsaking all of the real criminals in our own states and in our own cities, all the crime, all the drugs, all of the homelessness in your cities, but this is where you're at down there.
Who are organizing here in El Salvador. We've talked to Abrego Garcia's family, which is heartbreaking. And more importantly, we're here to...
Did you talk to Lake and Riley's family? Did you talk to them? No? Because that's heartbreaking. That's what I think is heartbreaking.
To raise awareness that Kilmar needs to come home. We need to build support here in El Salvador, but also in the United States.
Well, you're not going to get that support in El Salvador. Not going to happen. Those people are happy with that president because he's a no-nonsense type president. And he sees what you raggedy behind Marxist Democrats are up to. So he ain't going to give y'all nothing. And I guarantee you, the folks in El Salvador are like, nope, don't give them nothing. Don't give them nothing.
He must come home. And I'll say this lastly. The president defying a Supreme Court order is a fire alarm moment in this country.
Yeah, fire alarm, ring-a-ling-a-ding, ring-a-ling-a-ding. We all supposed to get crazy and scared and all this stuff. It's a fire alarm that Trump sent an illegal immigrant gangbanger out of the country. So now we all got to get upset.
We cannot stand for it, and we must ensure that he's held accountable.
What do you know?
Oh, he's back. The guy with the muffin top up top. Let's see what he got to say.
Is there any chance you'll be meeting with Abrego Garcia while you're there?
Well, we're actually about to do a press conference to speak a little bit about this, but we got word at the embassy that our request has been denied.
Yeah. Deny that mess. Go tin their butts. Don't be coming down there blindsiding us. You're going to show up like some dang on unwanted guest. Whole bunch of raggedy neighbors or some family members just roll up on the scene. Yeah, we was thinking about you, and we rolled on. Can you mind if we stay a little bit? Can we come in and start looking around your crib and start them? No, you can't do that. Make an appointment, but not them. They go down there thinking they can just show up and got embarrassed, y'all.
The government here locally, they say it's because we're not here on an official capacity.
I'm surprised they let you even fly into the country. I would have been like, reroute them. Reroute them. Why are they coming here again? Just like they wanted to turn the plane around mid-air by a radical judge to bring back those gangbangers. If that's what should happen to them, reroute them. Don't let them land.
This is part of the reason why Representative Robert Garcia and I sent a letter to Chairman Comer of the Oversight Committee asking for this to be an official codel. But we're not giving up. We're going to continue. We have more meetings scheduled for the rest of the day. But part of this, too, is making sure that we keep the conversation alive. We're building off of the trip of Senator Van Hollen.
Keep the conversation alive. Yeah, y'all do that. Focus on that. Keep this mess in the media. Stay down there as long as you want. Forget about what you're supposed to be doing here. Stick it out. Build a little hut, whatever. You're not going to get any financial support, though, by Gomer. They're not going to send money because it's not official. But because y'all are so invested, spend your own money. Take your time to focus on the wrong things and the wrong people and stay as long as you want. So y'all can give us a whole bunch of ammunition against you when we run against y'all in some type of capacity.
And we're not the first members here, and we're not going to be the last.
MS-13 has...
Uh-oh, y'all. He's back, and it's about to get saucy. Woo-wee.
It's been designated as a foreign terrorist organization, has it not?
Yes.
Yes.
It has. Okay. And there is an ordered removal of Abrego Garcia by the District of Maryland. The District Court for the District of Maryland, the U.S. District Court wrote, although Abrego Garcia was found removable, that's the key, the immigration judge granted him a withholding of removal to El Salvador in an order dated October 10th of 2019. So he was ordered removable.
He had a protected status, as you just read.
Oh, now. He said, as you just read, but why did you overlook the part where he's removable? So yeah, protected status, meaning we can't send his raggedy tail, for whatever reason, back to El Salvador because of rival gangs that might kill him. That's the protected status, but that doesn't protect him from deportation. But they act like he had a right to be here. They overlook the fact that the only reason he had a protective status was because he might get killed by rival gang members. And some whacked bootleg prosecutor or the person in the DOJ under Biden negotiated that trash to allow him to stay here, and most likely the way they do many of the other illegal immigrants here in our country, just so they can stay here. Don't want to send them back, work hard to keep them here for whatever reason, come up with whatever excuse. So now he's talking about he had a protective status. Well, he also had a deportation status too.
And if he is to be detained and deported, there's a process he needs to go through. And that's the whole situation here. I'm not here to litigate even a very specific person. I'm here to talk about the fact that he represents a very big problem with this administration.
No, he doesn't. No, he doesn't. Yeah, see, now you don't want to talk about a specific person because the person you're talking about is trash. So you now he represent a bigger problem that the administration. No, the administration's doing what the majority of Americans want them to do.
They have no problem scooping somebody up based on tattoos and vibes. And
based on tattoos. So forget all of those other occurrences, run-ins with the cops and him in the car with all the MS-13 guys. Forget that. And of course the labor trafficking and all of that. None of that. Or beating his wife. You just want to overlook all of that.
And sending them to a foreign country's prison. And then we have the command.
Foreign country? No. It's only foreign to us. Yeah, it's familiar to him. Foreign to us, familiar to him. He's there like, oh, home sweet home. Yeah, exactly. I remember just how El Salvador was. Unfortunately, it's a little different now. We got a presidente who's going to lock me up. And when I left, they were acting a fool down there. But now they got some law and order. But here's this guy selling it. He is advocating for this guy.
And are talking about sending homegrowns next. And so for me...
Okay. What are you talking about? Sending what next? What did you just lie about? This...
have the commander talking about sending homegrowns next.
Homegrowns! Good grief. How can they just get out there and drop this type of lie out there? Homegrowns. Meaning, you could go ahead and just start deporting homegrown citizens. Just kidnapping them. Do you understand how far out these accusations and these fear tactics are? You would have to be extremely stupid to buy into that. Versus stop for 1 second and say, whoa, what would be the motivation for that? Do you think people would be okay with regular American citizens For whatever reason, they just picked to start snatching them up and deporting them. Do you think that would be okay? Do you think Trump really would do that? Has he ever shown any signs of that? But yet y'all trying to make that leap from illegal gang-banging criminals to American citizens. And he didn't even pause. Jump straight over. That's right. He's talking about, I have not heard Trump mention or the administration mention one time about deporting homegrowns.
And so for me,
and this is where we need to go, Congressman. This suggestion of you that you've made on several occasions now that he is going to deport, that Donald Trump has a desire to deport anyone, homegrown American citizens, is the point of our conversation, because the law that we just went through together is, at least to some measure, an element of due process. We just established together that Abrego Garcia is a minimum not an American citizen. He has been removed from the United States by a court order who was then withheld, to your point, but he was ordered removable. The same courts found that he was a gang member of MS-13. MS-13 is a foreign terrorist designated organization.
But he don't care. I don't care where you go. I don't care what you do. Yeah. I don't care, MS-13. Just take me with you. That guy don't care. He's about like, yo, take me. I don't care nothing about what they all them facts and stuff like that. I'm rolling with MS-13, throwing up the signs and everything. Yeah, let's see.
Those elements, without litigating, hold on real quick. Hold on. Without litigating each and every one of those details, what would seem clear, Congressman?
In court. Okay. Allegations doesn't mean proof.
Allegations don't mean proof unless you're talking about Republicans. I mean, all kind of allegations they just jump on board with. They don't need no proof out there, undisclosed, the source. A lot of allegations. They're still out there saying that Trump said something bad about World War II vets when everybody around him said he didn't say that. But you know what? It doesn't matter. We don't need proof. Allegations aren't proof.
Without litigating that, once again, which a court has litigated, Congressman, forgive me for 1 second. The point is, he's not anyone. He's not an average American citizen. He's not someone watching from home. He is an illegal alien. He is an alleged gang member of a foreign terrorist designated organization, and he was ordered removed. That would seem a level of elements of due process that certainly distinguishes him.
Yeah, that puts him in a different category as regular American homegrown citizens, you big fat dummy. But you got to try to make it all blend together. And when you can't win that argument, you know what they do. It doesn't matter about all of that. One, it hasn't been litigated and proved in court. Those are all allegations, And number two, it's even not about that. You know what it's about? Somebody said live chat censorship again. YouTube. But yeah, you know what he'll say. You know what it's really about? It's about due process.
From the average American citizen, and you are making a very scary argument to Americans today.
Yep. I'm glad somebody finally called this dirtbag out. You're making a very scary argument, and that's the goal. By lying to them and making them think that Trump could just snatch anybody up, American citizen, just throw them in some other country.
You are suggesting to Americans, if he can remove this man, the details of which we just walked through, you're suggesting he can remove you. And that seems a pretty far cry from reality.
Very far cry from reality. And that bum knows it, and the rest of them who's been lying about this know it too. But they don't care. Just like they make all these accusations about Trump through all these years, and it sounds so crazy. And you say, how can they just get out there and say that? And then you turn on TV and you see their protesters repeating it. You say, oh, Trump's going to be a dictator on day one. All of that. You turn on protesting TV and all of a sudden, that Trump's, why are you down here? Trump's going to be a dictator on day one. So that's why they say it. Yep. Well, guys, let me see. I can't even read that from. Let's hear from, Tom the Hammer. Tom the Hammer got something to say about this. Let's see what he got to say.
Senator Van Hollen has obviously got a chance to meet with him, but he had to travel to El Salvador to get any information. Does that concern you at all? I mean, these are people sent by the United. I mean, in his case, sent by the United States, and not even a U.S. senator could get any information.
Whoa. What are you talking about, Mr. Proper? propaganda that's sent by the United States. No, they weren't. No, they weren't. Let's see that. Hold on.
Concern you at all? I mean, these are people sent by the United. I mean, in his case, sent by.
No. What is he talking about? Sent by the United States. Trump didn't send them. They went down there on their own on a solo mission, a rogue solo mission. And it's got that these people were sent by the United States. Does that concern you? It concerns me that unofficial business is taking place. These people went down there against the executive branch, have no obligation to be negotiating or authority to be negotiating with a foreign country, and yet they're going down there doing it. That concerns me. And the hammer is going to break it down and make it clear.
By the United States, and not even a U.S. senator could get any information about his whereabouts or the condition of his incarceration without actually going down and making the trip to El Salvador himself?
Well, he obviously knew his whereabouts because he went there to see him. But you know what bothers me more than that is a U.S. senator traveled to El Salvador on taxpayer dime to meet with an MS-13 gang member, public safety threat, terrorist. I mean, in the meantime, the day before he traveled, an illegal alien was arrested for murder, released to the streets rather than honoring an ICE detainer in his very own state.
Oh, yeah, but he ain't got time for that. He ain't got time for those ones in his state, this killing and stuff and arresting. He's down in El Salvador trying to save another one of those criminals to bring back here to beat his wife, I guess, some more. Yeah, that's what that guy's up to. And then this idiot, they went down there to see where he was at, where he was concerned, and don't that concern? They knew where he was at. He's in prison. He ain't going nowhere, especially in that one. So, did he think the hammer was going to fall victim of this stupid questioning? I mean, you know the hammer don't play. The hammer's going to tell you exactly what it is.
What concerns me is Van Halen never went to the border the last 4 years on Joe Biden when he had a 600% increase in sex trafficking in women and children.
Yeah. Where were all of those dim rats? And the rats didn't go down there to that border. They didn't want to look at their own dirty work. Yeah, they didn't want to see those lines and lines of people coming. They didn't want to see all of those people under bridges waiting to be processed during the height of COVID when all of us had to get shots and stuff just to go to work. But those folks, nah, come on in just the way you are, regardless of what you're carrying. Yeah, they didn't want to go see that. Isn't that interesting? They didn't want to see or hear about any of the victims during the travel over to America, victims to the cartel. They didn't want to hear about all the folks dying from fentanyl that was coming across. They didn't want to hear about all of the folks fell victim to illegal immigrants killing Americans. They didn't want to hear about that. They don't even want to hear about those 300,000 missing kids that were trafficked and just disappeared. And they're always whining about the kids. The kids.
You have a record number of no-inspected terrorists crossing that border. You had 250,000 Americans die from fentanyl overdose because of the open border.
Tell them, Hammer.
You had over 4,000 illegal aliens died.
Now that guy looks constipated. He's all jammed up because he don't know what to say. Yeah, the Hammer got him jammed up. So here he is. Yeah, that's a good point. Man, I guess I didn't think this one through. What was I expecting the Hammer to say? Yeah, those guys got a right to be down there. This guy does need his due process rights. You need to come back and... No, you knew the Hammer was going to give it to you raw.
Making that journey, which is an historic record.
Congressman...
Oh, y'all remember this before we go? Because see, these folks right here think that they're going to convince the black folks to jump on board with this. We need to be worried about it. Because see, they can't just fear all the stupid white liberals that were down there. They want them to think that they're free game too. So they got to go ahead and diversify and make black folks think we should be mad about this too and be concerned because they could deport us. They could deport us too for no reason.
Ivy, thank you for being here. There is, I've been talking about this all week, but Janae Nelson of the NAACP Legal Defense Fund, she penned an op-ed in The Nation this week. And her op-ed talked about that we think that democracies are... The way they die is dramatically through these wars and blood is shed, and it's cinematic in a sense. But really, the realistic way in which democracies die is that it's dismantled brick by brick, piece by piece. And she says that what we are seeing now with the lawlessness
there is no lawlessness. See, now they want to go ahead and get into the details of dismantling a democracy piece by piece. Well, if it's undetectable by the average person, even mainstream Democrat voters, then most likely it's not happening. See, it's not in their face. If they're not sitting back worried about this illegal immigrant being brought back to the country, y'all trying to create a sense of urgency, fear, or concern about this mess. See, and they're going to use, I know y'all can't really detect it. I know y'all can't really see it. It might not make sense to y'all right now, but trust me, there's an undercurrent, brick by brick. And if y'all let them break down due process, then he's coming for you.
Administration are really the canaries in the coal mine gasping for air. I'm paraphrasing
that's
here.
what it is.
But to me, that is why Kilmar Abrego Garcia's specific case, the case of the gentleman who's a makeup artist out of California who was also sent to that prison. That is why the 75% of the folks who have been sent, the men who have been sent there that don't have criminal records, that is why this is so important. Because if they could do it to them, if they could snatch students off the street without any pushback or recourse, they will do it to any of us. To be very clear, it's going to be the people of color and vulnerable communities that are next in line.
Boy, the lies, the propaganda, and the evil that is coming out of these people of color, marginalized, all of that stuff is going to be next. They're going to be next. Do you really think Trump is going to turn his attention? Or we got our hands filled with trying to get rid of the mess that was created by the Democrats. He's only in office for 4 years. And we're behind right now deporting all of these immigrants that y'all brought, illegal immigrants. But now she wants people to think. Somebody said, Kevin, who is this woman? Simone. I call her Simone with the dome. That dome head of hers, man. So now she wants us to think they're coming after black folks. And instead of these two black people saying, what the HELL double hockey sticks are you talking about? That's ridiculous. Well, look what they say.
I think that's right. And that's certainly part of why the African-American community is so strongly behind the supporting Kilmar.
Well, we better see as we close, because that's what he's suggested. African-Americans, we should be upset about this guy that we don't know anything about, have no connection, no relationship with. And what? He's a gang member and he's, you know what? So now let's see. We got to go to the streets.
We are not for this.
Yeah, because as you just said, if they're going to whisk them away, what are they going to do with us?
What are they going to do with us? So we better go to the streets to see.
So there's this illegal immigrant. He was living in Maryland, designated MS-13 terrorist, and Donald Trump deported him. How does that make you feel?
I feel safer.
He gotta go.
Oh, snap. Oh, wait, she didn't say, you know what? I feel like Donald Trump's coming for me next. Shoot, if they can deport illegal immigrant terrorist gang members, they could come for me next. Well, are you an illegal gang member terrorist? No. Then why would he do that? Oh, well, yeah, that does make sense. But let's continue. Here's another one.
Oh, he gotta go.
He got to go. He got to go. When you break it down to regular Americans, none of these people got blue hair. Notice in that crowd of protesters when I first started the video, none of them were black. You didn't see no brothers out there in that crowd fighting to bring Garcia back. Isn't black people an important voter base for the Democrats? So they sent Simone with the dome out there to try to get us on board with this trash. But look what's happening.
To go.
He got to go.
I mean, that's it. He was a father. But he's still a terrorist.
Oh, snap. So people aren't as dumb as you think. But he's a father. But he's still a terrorist. What else?
Okay. I mean, but there's children living without fathers now.
Bam! What that got to do with us? Well, we want to reunite his family, though. We want to make sure his kids don't grow up without a father, even though, you know, we got American citizens who died and their kids are going to grow up without mothers, fathers at the hands of illegal immigrant gangbangers. We got that. But they don't care about those people, see? They're worried about the illegal immigrants that are being separated from their kids. And look, he has 3 kids. Well, guess what? There's 300,000 illegal immigrant kids that are missing. You're not worried about them?
He should have picked you, so he picked to be a terrorist instead of worrying about his children.
Oh, there it is. Uh-huh. Yeah, you didn't think those tattoos on your knuckles and that gang affiliation would come back to bite you? You got kids, man. You got kids. We shouldn't be worried about this dude. But hey, here's another guy.
Democrats, they want him back. They say he was wrongfully deported. He has a wife and a kid who's a citizen. They're calling this a national emergency.
National
Is this a national emergency?
I wouldn't call it national emergency. We got more things going on. We have more things.
Y'all hear that? We got more things going on. Somebody get this message. I don't care how you send it to those dodo birds down there in El Salvador fighting to get this guy back. But somebody needs to send this message from regular Americans who aren't crazy and radical, got common sense. I don't care if you send it by carrier pigeon. I don't care, telegram. I don't care, but send it to these dummies and they'll overlook it. We don't care. We don't care if nobody supports this. We're going to go ahead and die on this hill for that man in El Salvador.
More fish to fry. I just found out about it, so I don't think so. What kind of national emergency? For what? What is the emergency for? Ain't no national emergency, no.
He was accused of hitting his wife twice and was a suspected human smuggler. Was he wrongfully deported?
No.
Oh, snap. See, that's why when we were seeing the Democrats during the beginning of my show, they're talking about him, they never mentioned those things. Because, see, this is what would happen if you start telling people what this guy was into. That's why they just say, you know what, he's a Maryland man. He needs his family. He's a father. He's been unwrongfully, he was kidnapped. That's why they don't say those things. That's why they don't bring up gang affiliation. So even the possibility of that guy being in MS-13 would disqualify him amongst common sense people. Even if you say, yeah, he got MS-13 tattoos all over, he hangs out with them, but there's no evidence that he's a part of them. What do you think? You think that's enough to deport him? Yes, that's enough. The fact that he's here legal, but you throw that on top, he got to go. Let's finish hearing from the last couple of common sense Americans, because remember, black people are scared and they're wondering about being deported too.
He need to go.
He got
smuggler, yeah, he need to be deported.
He got to go.
Better to be safe than sorry.
Better to be safe than sorry. A concept that the Democrats don't know nothing about because it doesn't involve them. They're not worried about their own safety. Yeah, let you peasants figure that out. Let y'all worry about it. Let us bring all of these people in unvetted. Throw them in your neighborhoods and just try to lie about the stats. Statistically speaking, there's less crime done by illegal immigrants than American citizens. And you know what? All of that garbage they give us, them go, who wants to take the chance? Better to be safe than sorry. Nah, but that ain't their style. See, so they say, well, let's just wait until something drastic happens. Then we go, oops, so I guess that one was a bad one.
Your senator here, Chris Van Hollen, he flew to El Salvador where this guy was deported. He met with them, had lunch with them, had margaritas on the table. What's up with your senator?
I have no idea, but I do believe that was a waste of taxpayer dollars.
Oh, snap! Yeah, I thought he was a hero. In the beginning, the other Democrats were praising him, saying that he's a hero. We're going to follow his footsteps. That's right. And when they asked him about them taxpayers' dollars, yeah, it was on official for the. What you mean, taxpayers' dollars? Yeah, I like other trips, but look at this system.
Agreeing with somebody whipping their wife, terrorizing where you live.
Oh,
then you don't need to live here either.
So, whooping their wife, terrorizing where you live, well, you don't need to live here either. But according to the Dems, he got to come back. We got to bring him back for due process or something like that. But common sense people are saying, kick that dude out. He got to go.
Senator Van Hollen, you need to come see me, Mr. Coley, because you doing like that. You need to take care of home before you go in other states.
Yes! Yes! Let the people speak. Yeah, see, in the beginning, I'm showing you the contrast between the crazy radical Democrat supporters who believe anything, who are dumb enough to go out there talk about this guy needs to come back because of a due process. Go talk to folks like this. He said, come see him. You need to take care of home first before anything. But you think that's the style of the Democrats? Never. It's always Ukraine, let's do this, let's go overseas, let's have money to Pakistan for all of that mess.
He went to El Salvador.
Oh, that's another country, excuse me.
What has Senator Chris Van Hollen ever done for you?
Nothing.
Nothing. For me, nothing.
And he never will. But he will do something for Mr. Garcia. Yeah, he will do something for him. I'm down here. My goal is to see him, make sure he's okay, send a message back to his family, to facilitate the release and return home. Yeah, we want to bring him home where he belongs.
Nothing that I know of. He ain't do me. I can admit that. I've never even heard of this person.
Do you want him? And nobody did. But now everybody knows him for being stupid. He was under the radar. But now everybody is like, oh, so you mean the dummy that went to El Salvador and did a photo shoot for all of the Republicans to blast him over and show the contrast between them and the Trump regime? So yeah, he made himself famous.
Kilmar Abrego Garcia, this quote-unquote Maryland dad living back in Maryland? No.
Oh! No!
Not be doing trafficking, no.
No!
I want somebody like that back. No.
Yeah, common sense. You see that? Why would you want somebody like that back? Somebody should ask the Dems, those dumb Dems that went there, why would you want somebody like that? Well, because it's not proven. There's no evidence. He needs to. It's not about him. It's not about whether he did it or not. It's about due process. Because if they can do it to him, they can do it to anybody. This is all you need. Common sense people to hear the facts that they try to hide. And this is the reaction you'll get. Unless you're a dumb Democrat voter like in the beginning.
What's your message to the Democrats who really want him back in your community?
Tell them what's the message.
Why would you want that in my community? Bring it to your community and see how long you like it up there. Leave them.
Oh, snap! Boy, that brother sounds like me. Why would you want him in our community? How about you put him in your community, Senator? Yeah, well, let him hang out with you guys and see what happens. Boy, I tell you, man, they need to hear this message.
Or y'all go over there with him.
Yeah, leave him or y'all go over there with him. That's why I said stay down there. All four of you dummies. Matter of fact, though the other senator was down there who went down for the first. Here, you know what? Matter of fact, the whole party, because they said more is coming. More is coming. They said more Democrats are coming. Yeah, they should go head down there. And then the El Salvadorian president said, you're unlawfully in our country. I didn't invite you. You just showed up. Let's throw them in the slammer. They're here illegally. And see if Trump negotiates getting them back. They call him up like, hey, I heard you got our Democrats down there. I mean, can we have them? No, I don't think so. Okay, we tried. There it is. Leave them all down there. Send them down there with them since they love them so much.
You're focused on the wrong thing.
If they illegal coming over here, send them back.
Could that be a Logan Act violation? Because he in no way, shape, or form, even though he's in the U.S. government, he did not have the approval of the U.S. government to go down there and to go.
Didn't have the approval, but they took their stinking butts down there anyway. Yeah, it was worth the risk. Their reputation, it was worth possibly even being looked into, the Logan Act. It was worth all of that to get a photo op for nothing to show Americans what their priorities are. And Byron Donalds is going to close us out with a 30-second response.
Negotiate the release of a prisoner.
It's very possible, but something that's even bigger than that is he looks like an utter fool. Because now the information's coming out about this guy. Obviously, yes, he was in the country illegal. His wife was saying he was an abusive person. He was hanging out with MS-13 gang members when he got picked up. And he's down in El Salvador trying to negotiate a release. This is the buffoonery of the Democratic left. It's the reason they were boat raced last November. It's the reason they will continue to lose. How about a U.S. senator actually stand up for the American people, the rule of law, actually securing our borders and sending people home who do not belong in our country? I wish he would spend his time doing that as opposed to going down to El Salvador to prove to all Americans that he's a fool.
Absolutely. Congressman Byron Donalds, great to see you. Thanks for being with us. We appreciate it.
Man, went all the way down there. You see how hard he worked to show us that he was a fool? That man went overboard to show everybody I'm a fool. Want to see how foolish I am? I'm going to go ahead all the way down there and take a photo op with an MS-13 gang member and then demand his release. And other fools followed him. All of them. So I hope this eventually gets put to bed. But it's like a dog in a bone right now. Apparently they're talking about we're going to stay in the fight. We're going to make sure. And I'm going, go ahead. Waste all your time and effort on that. Let us continue seeing all of you down there on behalf of Garcia instead of on behalf of the American people. Continue to do it. Yeah. Stay down there. Stay distracted. Okay. So we'll see how long before they decide whether they want to hang on to this or let it go, because it's not going to work. That's the problem. It's not going to convince the majority of Americans that, number one, they're going to be drug off after these people, or number two, that these people deserve due process. It's not going to convince the average American that, yeah, we need to get on board with this. And then number two, it's not going to change the way these folks get deported. And that's what they really want to do. They want this whole narrative of due process to apply to all of them that are being deported, so it will put a clog in the deportation that is taking place. And frankly, I'm upset. I wish we had a big fat net that we could just go and swoop every last illegal immigrant that came across this border under Biden and beyond. Swoop them up and just take them back to their country in one big swoop. But it's so many of them. And that's exactly why they flooded us. That's why they overwhelmed us with all of these illegal immigrants, because they knew it would be difficult to track them all down and get them out of here in a short 3-year time frame. So if Trump don't get them all out in 4 years, we got to pray that J.D. Vance wins and he continues the progress of deporting these people. And the Supreme Court better get out the way. I'm upset with them right about now. They're bothering me. Okay, let the process take place. These folks, nobody was talking about how they got in here. Nobody's talking about that they need due process to come in. The process was an app. The process was them walking up to Border Patrol. I'm here for my asylum. Raggedy behind process to get them in. But all of a sudden you want a complicated process to get them out. And that was the goal. And we can't let them succeed with that trash. But you got dumb Democrat voters out there that believe that this guy should come back and they're fighting for him. Aren't you glad you're not one? Boy, it feels great to be able to sit back and say, I'm in my right mind. I see things clearly, but I also see how nuts their voters are. And I hope the rest of the world and country sees it too. So they're left with nothing but the crazies voting for them. I don't want them to win another election. Now, God bless y'all. God bless America. God bless America. There it is. That's right. Yeah, you want to know something, brother? So, thanks for hanging out with me tonight. I should be back tomorrow. Oh, boy. So now Gizmo has trained Nala of my password. God bless America. Now, she knows what that means. So she jumps up. She jumps up every time now. Don't be trying to kiss me. Yeah, you went out and got pregnant hanging out with Gizmo. Come here, Gizmo. Yeah, you did that. Now you're going to be a dad. You better not be a deadbeat dad either. You understand that? Yeah, look at you. So anyway, we'll see y'all tomorrow. Don't forget, on the way out, check out Kevin's Corner store if you want to. Or you can support the channel through my Cash App, my PayPal. I appreciate all of that. Or just liking and sharing my videos. Someone sent me a little blessing in the mail, and I want to thank them for doing that as well. I appreciate it. It comes in handy. So God bless y'all. We'll see y'all next time in Kev's Corner. Let's get out of here. Don't forget, text MAGA to that number. Yeah, now God bless America.
This is awesome. Yeah, awesome.
I know you see the way we tear up the place, yeah.